Hello, game devs. In today's video, we're going to talk about Tag, the Power of Paint, developed by Tag Team, composed of a team of students composed of Brett English, Tajiv Kolhi, Pongthep Bank, Charnachai Shushit, Ted Riviera, Josh Jones, Tyler Woods, and Tatsuang Tantakasol. Sorry if I got those a little bit wrong. I tried really hard to get those right. But it's a great concept. It does a really good job of doing its game well. It won the Independent Games Festival showcase, in fact. So, Tag, you're it. In this game, players are challenged to solve platforming puzzles in a gray box world. You have different access, 3 different types of paint that can alter the surface of the world and gives a needed dash of color. One paint always makes the player run faster. One paint makes the surface more bouncy. The third paint, blue, is sticky. And different paints can be collected in the world, and that's it. That's all there is. And that's really all you need. The experience itself isn't terribly long, maybe 30 minutes, and it gives us exactly what we need in order to understand what's going on and kind of take away a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the team took a lot of care to make this game work. When we're talking about a game that requires precision movement in 3D space, the controls are responsive and smooth, and that's a lot when you consider that they're doing this weird angular, changing gravity, sticking to the wall stuff. I could imagine someone trying to put too much artwork into this game and making it really laggy in some parts, and but not in Tag though. They do a really good job of keeping it light, and they teach the player how to use the mechanics in the game. That's done expertly. Not only do they follow the appropriate method that I've talked about in other videos, links below, which is introduce one mechanic, demonstrate its use, provide the users safe opportunities to experiment before then introducing them to a real-world scenario with some risk to it. And then afterwards, you start mixing and matching. We should all take note that often a quick picture of the intended gameplay is way easier to learn from than a bunch of dialogue-based tutorials instructing the player how to play the game. Press the button and then do the thing. Instead, they just put a picture up. As the game progresses, you collect more paint, and the game starts to introduce you to the combination of skills that you need in order to maneuver through the world. This game also reminds me of what we might call a combat room or a test room, where designers are putting prototypes of different iterations and interactive scenarios all together in one room before developing levels. This gives the designers some ability to have building blocks that they can use and quickly copy paste, and the mechanics that you're using provides a strong visual architecture so that oh, this curve, they want me to jump over this, even though it looks slightly different, but it's the same shape. This gives the player the idea what they're supposed to do in any point. So, oh, I look at this really long jump, I'm going to have to get a running start here, that kind of thing. For visuals, it is stark and full of contrast, and that aesthetic supports the mechanics. What else could we ask for, right? Anyone looking at a screenshot of this would immediately be able to tell that this is the game they're looking at, and it's really the barometer for me when I think about, is my game visually distinct? Can people pick it out from a lineup? One thing I like to also draw your attention to is accessibility. Color blindness is very common, specifically among men who carry one X chromosome. So some games like Puzzle Fighter, they fail to make their game accessible to colorblind people, and they use a red, green, yellow, blue color pairings that make it really impossible, literally impossible, for some people to see those things. And this students team was smart enough to alter the red and green colors in order to avoid this. And that's one of those secret details that scores mad points with me. It's something I take into design consideration when I'm dealing with color anytime I look at UI or interfaces. And if this is news to you, check out the tool Color Oracle, which you can show the flaws in your artwork by simulating different color type blindnesses. There's more out there than just what I was mentioning, but those are the 2 kind of common ones. I think that's really important. Accessibility is amazing, and I give them and I congratulate them for thinking about that. In terms of how is this connected to the oeuvre of the world, altering the environment inside a video game, that doesn't really happen. The surface of the worlds are pretty immutable in most games. Although there are a few games out there that this direct altering of the world, it's really fun. If you play Counter-Strike or Team Fortress, people have been using sprays and painting with bullet holes to create simple artwork ever since the games came out. And this game takes it quite a bit further, though. And, it's not quite experimenting at the level of Jackson Pollock, who was investigating how color and velocity and angle of splatter patterns can create beautiful works of art. But it could probably go in that direction. And that's what's really exciting for players in this game, is just being able to, put something directly on the world and it kind of stays and sticks there. So it's really interesting, and it was definitely very new at the time, and not something that's super common now. But I might have buried the lead here. Do you recognize these game mechanics at all? Let me refresh your memory. Take a look at Portal 2. Look familiar? Those goo guns? Well, it turns out these students got hired by Valve to work on Portal 2 and integrate this innovative system into their game. Just like with Narbacular Drop, which inspired Portal 1, innovative student concepts have proven to earn students jobs. And it doesn't take a huge, sprawling MMO, and hopefully you're starting to recognize a theme in the games that we're playing in class, that a small project, well executed, can launch careers and companies. But let's get a little bit more meta with our reflection of this game. What do you think that what do you think that led to the team's success? And I mean from an interpersonal and organizational perspective. The team was quite large for a student project. Reportedly took the students 18 months to complete. Have you ever been in part of a self-organizing teams for 18 months? How'd you keep it going? Are you a lead, follow, or get out of the way kind of person? Or are you following Valve's Cabal method, which is, kind of mimicking the way academia operates by making sure that we do committee and get input from on consensus of a small group, and that for all members of the group to kind of be participating within the experience and within the development process? Let me know, and I will see you in class.